So we have a few more minutes. I'd like to first now go through the room and see what countries we have here. So, Chris, where are you from?
Las Vegas.
So we have Las Vegas. That's not a country. You don't follow directions. So we have the country of Las Vegas. How about in the back there? Where are we from? You can name city and country. We have Germany.
Germany as well.
Where in Germany?
Munich, Germany.
Munich, Germany. Okay.
Born and raised in Transylvania.
Okay. Let's stop here. So where do we up front? Athens. Okay. Athens. Z, where are you from?
Australia.
Australia. What was that? Spain. France. France.
Switzerland, Portugal, together.
Portugal and Switzerland.
Mexico.
Mexico. I just did a fireside chat with the former president Vicente Fox. So very dear friend of mine. He and his wife. They're absolutely amazing. You already said, and this gentleman here, Lithuania, and the young lady up front,
Serbia, Switzerland.
Serbia and Switzerland.
United States.
Switzerland, Munich,
Colombia and New Jersey. UK, Vatican City, and Albania.
Geneva,
Sofia,
Bulgaria,
United States and Canada.
Canada, Germany, Fabian, Persia, Belgium, sorry, London. I mean, think about that. All around the world, we're coming together. I think we were together 3 hours yesterday in the car. Anybody have a long drive into Davos yesterday? Yeah, is anybody else? I think we were stuck in traffic for 3 hours. He was my chauffeur. He agreed to pick me up from the airport. And we were talking about modernizing our businesses. So anybody here have a company? Modernizing it. How do you do that? How do you increase efficiency without what? Impacting your staff. You don't want to hurt their feelings, but you want them to get better. You want to make more money. If you're a sales organization, there is data. Well, how do you make money on that data? Our next speaker, Alejandro Martinez from Propelling Tech, is going to tell us how we can modernize our businesses using AI, machine learning as part of that process, and some other things that maybe we haven't thought of before. So let's give my dear brother Alejandro a round of applause. Alejandro, stage is yours.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. So on my side, I will speak. I will speak about navigating innovation and how to go from a vision into reality. I started my career in terms. Are you putting there? Yep. It doesn't show. Okay. Well, let me know. I was trying to show some slides, but it's okay. So I started my career in innovation from research a long time ago, and then I went 20 years into consulting. I've been dedicated to innovation and trying to see how companies can improve by themselves. So the issue right now, if we look even into AI, in the next 5 years, what AI is going to create in our economies is going to be 20 trillion. The issue that we have right now is a lot of companies, without having the right strategies, are going to miss those 20 trillion, let's say, wave. So in order to put the context to the issue that we have on companies going from a vision into reality on innovation, what we're seeing, if we look into studies, 70%, like 70% of the companies believe innovation is key for survival. Like the issue they're having is just 30% based on what the US government is finding is considering innovation as a successful implementation. So meaning 70% is finding this as key for them to survive, only 30 are considering they're breaking through. This is one first fact. The second fact that we have, and I like, at least in Europe and in Spain, that is really where I did a lot of my background and consulting, we have a word that is called I plus D plus I. And Europe has more or less put it, it represents research, the first I, then the D is the development, and then the third one is innovation. It's the way how we refer to research and development, the R&D on every company in English-speaking world. The issue is innovation, and sometimes even in an informal way, we call it oh, how innovative ideas, this guy has a lot of innovative ideas. An idea is not innovative. Like innovation only happens when things get implemented. If it doesn't get implemented, if it doesn't get to the market, it's just research and development. So I always think, like if we go to Oslo Manual, that is where definition of innovation is happening, it takes the second word, it goes to implementation. And even though we're still missing, even as we have this conversation, a lot of ideas are not being implemented, not because they lack of potential, but because they don't have the execution to go there. So what are the issues that we're finding on innovation? Like what are the barriers? One of the pieces that I have is the first one, as humans, we have the fear to the unknown. Like, I mean, when someone comes and say, hey, are you innovative? Do you want to be disruptive? Like, no. This goes against my job. This goes against the conservative. So we find inertia, like fear to change. We find the fear in general to do something new, and then the complexity that we think innovation can bring. So all this brings the context on why this is important. So how we tackle this or how we do things differently. The first one is I come with an approach that I try to explain that is we can do technology-driven innovation. And this is what Dustin was referring with Propelling Tech, that I try to do it for business as well. So I find innovation has 3 pillars. If we blend them with technology, those pillars will become data-driven vision, risk, like experimenting, like risk control experimentation, like you try it. And then the third one is how you commit and automate. That is more the relation to scale. So if we go deep into what means each of these, a data-driven vision, and everything I always say, everything starts from a vision. Like if you don't have a vision, a goal, you're not going to achieve it unless you're Christopher Columbus and you get to find America without knowing you were finding America. Like, I mean, he got there without really knowing he was going there. All the rest of humanity, you need to have a goal in order to adapt your strategy. So if we start with a data-driven vision, you start with a goal and defining how you're going to measure what is a successful innovation. The third one comes into you need data, you need ideas. All those data and ideas could come from technology as well, or even as a lot of people call it now, like AI, in terms of generation ideas. This gives kind of the definition to start. The second point, when we go to risk control experimentation, the meaning is that fear that we have in terms of doing something new. And I always do it even with Propelling Tech. When we go and say, hey, we want to modernize, we want to create disruption, people are like, no, we are not that type of organization, or we are not that type of business. If you know the thing, like, I mean, in coming here to Davos, if it's your first time, you're like, hey, how it works, what I should wear, what I should do, how I should behave. If it's your second year, you will know already what you need to do, how you need, like you will know the show. So it's the same. If you know, then the rest becomes common sense. Like it's just part of your thing. So in order for you to make the innovation or the change your common sense, the recommendation is to start small. So you try it fast. You incentivize as an organization the failure. You cannot really penalize the failure. You need to allow people to fail fast and do like a small triads. That's where, if you even leverage technology to do risk control experimentation, you can simulate situations. You cannot really do it in real life. You can use pilot, you can use data. There is a concept of, I don't know if you have heard something called open innovation. It came in the 2000s. Really, in terms of innovation, like the ideas don't happen in a Zoom call or by working on home. Like innovation happens on the cafeterias by socializing ideas when you mix a field with another field. And it's funny because what we were hearing about, I don't know, I call it life hacking. I wasn't a believer. 3 months ago, I was 40 pounds like had 40 pounds on me, and it was just because of inflation. And it's all about information on how you do it. So the third topic in terms of the pillar of innovation comes to the commitment of an organization, and then the automation. Like, commitment goes into, and this is, it sounds the simplest, but is the most complex part. It goes to, once we have an idea, you need to have the commitment of all the organization to implement it. Like the commitment of leadership, like, hey, we're going to try this thing at sales department, or we're going to try this in the manufacturing side. Otherwise, things won't get implemented. So that's the reason you need to create an ecosystem of trust in order to make things happen. In order to automate, or create this scalability, that's where technology comes. And it comes as an architect of innovation rather than just a tool you're using to implement. Technology is kind of what we were saying, it can help you accelerate the whole thing with the innovation. And I have it just to give you examples of what we are doing in terms of how things can be done in extreme situations. So one comes to, we have a customer in the Middle East where they're trying to build agriculture fields in the desert to feed a lot of people. So how you do that in a normal world, you will go and test, put the fields, pray, and leave it to God just to see if you can really get, like the fruits or the vegetables coming from those fields. If you want to do it with technology, you can do monitoring. You can put those fields underwater. You can put the fields on managing pressure. You can manage the water consumption that those fields have. And you can know what is going to be the production before the fields are happening. So this is bringing like a real idea into place, into the city line in Saudi. Another example that we have in terms of an idea of, I was talking before with pet food, that it seems like an industry is already invented. In this case, is coming how you create fresh pet food, like meaning you need a fridge to have fresh pet food for the pets to eat it. So an issue there is the stock out. Meaning this will be equivalent to a yogurt, for example, for human consumption. Like how you know what is the demand forecast before you run on of stock out. So in this case, for example, you can do the best ways on how you're creating innovation in terms of your product. But if you want to blend technology into your strategy, you could blend technology on predicting that sales forecast, and either by having cameras on your fridge or by analyzing the velocity of your sales and inventory. You could also check the quality of your food rather than just leaving to someone to taste it or an animal to say, oh, I like it or I don't like it. No, you can use it with characteristics coming really from the food. So at the end, I invite people to really, innovation is no, it doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. You need to select it, say, I want to do it, and make it count. Technology is not really a way of it's going to work or it's going to accelerate. It's a reality, meaning it's there to help us. The reality goes to, it's not about technology replacing us. And a lot of people, even with AI, are seeing or feeling the fear, I'm going to lose my job. No, you will lose your job if you don't blend with technology. I call it the Iron Man approach. Meaning, it's not that Iron Man has a superpower. No, he's blending with technology, and then he's becoming one of the most powerful, Avengers in that case. So it's the same. Meaning, how you blend with technology and use it responsibly to execute with more performance than everyone else. And the idea is how we can. At the end, innovation is not about the future, or technology is not going to enable us in the future. It's enabling us now, and we can control the future from here. So this was my short speech, and I wanted to share with everyone. If you have questions, I will be around here the whole time, so happy to connect with everyone. Thank you.